What up, YouTube? Team Movies here. Since this month I'm doing my reviews for films that got released in January. Here is my review for the 2009 film Paul Blart Mall Cop. Now there are some people. Now Paul Blart Mall Cop is pretty much a film that is either two ways. You either like the film or you don't like it. And I'm gonna admit right now, I really got a kick out of Paul Blart Mall Cop. It's more of a guilty pleasure of mine, but I always got a kick out of it. The film premiered back on January 16, 2009. It was also directed by Steve Carr, who's directed some other, family affairs. He directed, the Are We Done Yet sequel. He did Daddy Daycare, Dr. Dolittle 2, that film Middle School, Worst Years of My Life. He's directed some really decent, family affairs. And so he ended up directing this comic called Paul Blart Mall Cop. Which stars Kevin James, who's of course best known for King of Queens fame. He's been in loads of Adam Sandler movies. Of course, Adam Sandler is a producer on this film. And so here you've got Kevin James, who plays this suburban father, hence the name Paul Blart, who works as a mall as a security guard, and he mainly rides around on his little Segway, which I think is pretty fun right there. And he pretty much takes his job very seriously here, even though most of the colleagues and customers don't as well. And when the holiday ends up approaching, Paul gets his moment to shine when these goons ends up shutting down the mall and take hostages. It's a bit like a kid's version of Die Hard. I'll put it that way. Yeah, it's like a Die Hard parody in a weird way. But instead of John McCain being a cop, he's a chubby dude as a security guard on a Segway. That's what they pretty much played this off as a family version of Die Hard. Anyway, so of course Paul needs to try to find a way to take these people down. And his daughter in this is played by Rainy Rodriguez, who you guys might know from Austin and Ally. He also has a girlfriend here, played by Glee actress Jayma Mays. You also have the late Shirley Knight from Grandma's Boy fame. She played the role of Paul's mother. She was really funny in this. You also had Carol O'Donnell. Bobby Cannavale was in this. You had Bas Rutten. You had some really interesting supporting players. But Kevin James, I thought was great as Paul Blart. He was really hilarious as a character. He played the character really well. And I mean, Paul Blart Mall Cop, by the way, came out in an interesting year, because it actually came out in the same year as another Mall Cop based movie, which was a Seth Rogen movie called Observe and Report, which I guess says is a similar premise as well. But Paul Blart is a really hilarious one. I actually still got it on DVD. It's really funny. It did not really get well received out like most Kevin James movies. It only has a 34% Rotten Tomatoes, but it did pretty well. Let me pull up the Paul Blart box office. Paul Blart made about $183.3 million. Did pretty well when it got released. And of course, we got a sequel. We had a sequel a couple years, after this film got released. Yeah, and I'll be down to check out the third one, But the first Paul Blart is really fun, hilarious. I remember watching the film when it got released. I got a kick out of it. I mean, if you guys never really seen the first Paul Blart, if you're a fan of Kevin James and stuff like that, I think you'll enjoy it. I mean, Kevin James has been in some other decent stuff I've enjoyed, like Zookeeper. I got a bit of a guilty pleasure out of Zookeeper. I mean, I've always been a Kevin James fan. So, yeah, if you guys never... And Paul Blart is probably one of my favorite Kevin James roles, But anyway, let me leave it to you guys. Have you ever seen the first Paul Blart Mall Cop? If so, what's your thought? Were you a fan of it? Were you not a fan of it? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This is Team Movies signing out.